dear. First mow of the year. I'm absolutely done in. I think that's my most dreaded allotment job of the year. That first mow that you do at the beginning of the spring. I've been waiting a few weeks to do it now, but it's just been so wet and the grass was knee high. Well, it's impossible. It's not even difficult, it's impossible in those conditions. But this morning, me and Brad have been down here. Brad's mowed over there on the side of plot, and I've just done this one. I was really hoping to finish weeding this today as well. That's my brassicas bed where my cabbages, cauliflowers, swedes, broccoli, they all go in there. They go in the same bed every year because I keep the soil pH quite alkaline so that we don't get club root. If I don't do that, we do get club root and the crops just don't work. Problem is, alkaline soils don't agree with most allotment crops. So the rest of the plot, I'll just let that do its thing naturally. I don't try and control the pH there. And I grow the brassicas in this one every year. I spent hours yesterday pulling out all of this couch grass. You can see it there. Let's get this net out of the way. That couch grass had covered absolutely everywhere. And I spent most of yesterday pulling that out. I was hoping to finish that today, but that mowing has killed me a bit. Also, yesterday, I got all my bathtubs done. I pulled out the few weeds that there weren't many, but I've refreshed the soil. I've put a load of bloodfish and bone and chicken manure pellets in there, mixed it all together, and I've covered it up just for now to keep the cats out. There is a particular cat round here that loves a bit of bare soil to use as his litter tray. And also the glass is going to help to warm the soil up a bit, warm up the compost before I put my carrots in. So it won't be long, another week or two, we'll have 4 tubs with carrots growing in them. That's all my onions and garlic there, sitting ready to go in the ground. Got 3 trays of onions and 1 of garlic. They're going to go in this bed. I was hoping to get that done this weekend. I might still manage to get that done tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. I've already got all my new strawberries in. I've had my last lot of strawberries. They'd been growing away for 10 to 15 years. Obviously I was renewing the runners, getting rid of the old plants and planting new runners each year. But I did find that after that long, even the runners weren't the best. They weren't quite as good as they could be. And plus, those strawberries were so old, I had absolutely no idea what varieties I had. Whereas now, I've pulled out all the old ones, and I've invested in all new strawberries, and I think I've got 4 different varieties in there. So rather than all my strawberries coming at once, we've got some early ones, a couple of midsummer ones, and some late ones. So we'll get a nice long season out of them. I've got all my second early potatoes in here. They're not coming through yet. They only went in 2 weeks ago. They'll start popping through the straw soon. And I've got my first early potatoes in these tubs as usual. And they are coming through, look. There we go. They're starting to pop through. Well on their way. I think I saw one in this pot as well. Yeah, there we go. I'm just starting to come through there. Hello, Babs. How you doing, girl? Now, because it's been so wet and windy, I've got a conservatory full of plants at home, ready to go out on the allotment. If the weather was slightly better, which it will be, won't be long now, if the weather was slightly better, they'd all be out by now, or at least in the greenhouse. At home I've got tomatoes, cucumbers, cabbages, cauliflowers, swede, all sorts, squashes, sweet corn. I've got all sorts waiting to come out on the plot. As it is, they're okay. They're probably better off, to be honest, at home in the conservatory for now, because we are still getting some chilly nights. We've had nights of 3 or 4 degrees this last week or so. Now, while the brassicas would be fine with that, The squashes, for example, and the sweet corn, they wouldn't be happy. So it's probably best that they just stay indoors for a little bit longer. Luckily, those chilly nights haven't quite been an actual frost. They've been chilly, but they've not been cold enough to knock back my pears, look. The blossom has mostly come and gone. There's still a bit of blossom hanging around, like here, look. Still a bit of blossom, but most of it has been fertilised. And we've got some lovely little fruitlets starting to appear. More there, look. Loads of lovely little fruitlets on my pear tree. Same for that pear tree there. Same for my plum tree. Lots of little fruitlets on that. And the apples are a little bit later, but they're both in blossom. Here we go. Lots of nice blossom on my apple trees. And also over on the cider plot as well. Over there where Brad just mowed. There's loads of blossom on those. Here we go, look. They're a little bit more behind on this tree, but not much. Oh, we got a Shirley. Alright, Shirley. Oh, someone just laid an egg. I had a real boon at work this week with the straw. It looks as though the baling machine isn't working properly. And there's a whole barn full of straw at work with broken strings on it. It's so much, they don't know what to do with it. They were just going to burn the lot. So I've stockpiled a big heap of it there, and that's got to be used because I want to put my main crop potatoes in that. I've got to use that up. But also, just over here, look. This is what's left. There's hardly any left, to be honest, but you can see how big that pile was. I got to drive a tractor for the first time in my life. It was brilliant. I took the tractor from work and I filled up a big tipper trailer, big hydraulic tipper trailer with straw. There must have been about, I don't know, probably about 8 of those big ton bags worth full of straw that I drove up here in the week and dumped in the corner there. I can't leave it there for too long or I'll get complaints, but I've got enough there to last me through the whole summer. Yeah, before I use that lot I need to use this because my potatoes have got to go in that. Well, that mowing was really hard work, so I'm not going to do any more of that weeding in the brassica bed today. I've got tomorrow as well. I'll carry on with that tomorrow. I'm going to switch over now today from heavy duty hard work. Look at the grass stains on my fingers. I'm going to swap over from heavy duty hard work to some nice light pottering around. I'm going to go home now and I've got melons and squashes that need potting on. They're still in their tiny little pots that they germinated in. They're now getting to the size where they need splitting and putting into slightly larger pots to grow them on until they're ready to go out. And also I've got 3 knives to show you. 3 lovely brand new knives. I went to see Mike, weapon collector, a couple of weeks ago. Went down to see him and he gave me a present. He gave me these 3 homemade knives that he'd made. He's always making knives and swords, he's good at it. And he gave me 3 to add to my collection. So I'm just going to tidy up here, we'll go home. I'll show you the plants that I've got ready to go out here, ASAP, as soon as the weather allows. And I'll show you those knives that Mike gave me. I'll catch you at home in a sec. 3 nice new knives. Really nice beer that as well. I've never seen it before. Tuborg Gold, 100% malt. It's Turkish, and it is actually brewed in Turkey despite being owned by, I think it's Carlsberg. It is actually brewed in Turkey still. But it's 100% malt, look. Most lager type beers have wheat in them, as well as a bit of malt. But this one's 100% barley malt, which changes the flavour, makes it much more flavoursome than your average lager. Really nice that. give it a go if you see it in the shops. 3 knives from Mike then. I went down to see him 2 or maybe 3 weeks ago to drop off some plants for him. Some tomatoes, cucumbers, other stuff which I can't remember. And when I was down there, I've given him a few plants and some bits of blackthorn and whatnot over the years, and he had a present for me. I've got these 3 knives that he made. The first one, this is Mike's homemade version of the US military K-bar survival knife. It's got a nice stacked leather handle there, aluminium pommel. The blade was a blank that he shaped to this nice bowie shape. Made his own stacked leather handle, pinned it at the end. It's full tang all the way through, very similar to those US K-bar knives, and made a nice sturdy sheath for it as well. Nice stitching there, look. Done a good job of that. Got his logo stamped in there. That's the first one. I don't have any knives with stacked leather handles, but it's a method. I've got a few bits and pieces that need rehandling, and it's something I've always wanted to give a try. Mike's got a video of him making this, which once he'd given me the knife, I went back and watched again. I think I'd seen it before, but I went back and watched it again to see how it was done. I might try a bit of stacked leather handle myself. Now this one, this is made from a weed slasher. Those big weed slashers that you get for allotments and overgrown gardens. And it's a Tanto. My first Tanto. I don't have any with a Tanto blade. My carter handle there. There's that sort of 1.5-ish spring steel. I think it's spring steel that they make the weed slashers out of. And there's a Tanto blade that he made for it. He's done a really nice job at that as well. It's got a nicely made edge on it, a bit messy. I've been playing around with it. That's a really, really nice slashy knife, that. Very useful. And the only Tanto in my collection. Again, another really nice sheath. Stamped, nicely stitched. And the last one, where's it gone? Little folder. Well, little, not so little folder. I knocked the camera over. Right. This folding knife, a little bit like the old Japanese Higo Nakami knives, where it's just a single piece of folded steel. And very, very rigid. There's no squeeze or give in that at all. Very, very rigid. Piece of folded steel for the handle. And then there's the knife. I think by the looks of it, again made out of a weed slasher. Looks like the same steel as the Tanto knife. It's nice steel. I like it. It makes knives which perform a bit like Opinels. If you've got Opinels, you know how slicey they are. They're thin blades, but they're easy to sharpen, and they're very, very sharp. That's what these weed slasher blades seem to achieve. And that's just held in place there with a nail and a washer formed into a rivet. Nice job. Yep, I'm well pleased to stick them in my collection, because most of my knives are just, you know, fairly mass market, plus a few, you know, old World War II ones and stuff like that. Not much in the way of handmade, and there's 3 handmade knives there, so I'm well chuffed with that. Right, let's go and have a quick look at the tomatoes and stuff that I've got. Mila, girl. Ah, Jonesy, alright. Okay. Yeah, I've got my tomatoes there. There's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tomatoes. We've got 2 chili peppers and 3 sweet peppers. Here we've got 4 cucumbers as well. They are swede, they are Crown Prince squashes, they're cabbages, they're cauliflower, and up here, this is what I'm going to be doing this afternoon. These are all my melons and my butternut squash. You can see we've got, what, 1, 2, 3, we've got 5 in a pot there. They're melons. They need separating out and putting into a pot each so that they can start growing on. And they grow out here in the conservatory. I put them in these big tubs and they grow up and around the roof and produce really, really, really nice sweet melons. They're well worth doing. Quite a few of them need repotting this afternoon. Now, I've got some sweet corn on the go in the heated propagator because it was taking a long time to germinate. Look, you see it's 15 degrees in the conservatory at the moment. In the heated propagator it's 24. So it just adds those few extra degrees. We've got a couple starting there, look, just starting to come through. They've been a bit slow to germinate them, so I thought let's stick them in the heated propagator and give them a head start. I've got another variety of sweet corn here that didn't need the propagator at all. Oh, nothing in that one, but the rest of them are doing alright. For some reason, just seems to be that particular type, what is it, swift. These swift ones aren't so swift to germinate. I was saying I took mark some tomatoes. They're exactly the same ones as I've got here. I bought these weeks ago as tiny little seedlings and I've grown them on. Now, little tip, Mike, when you come to stick your tomatoes in their big pots, like that one there, when they're ready to be put in the big pots, I always bury them up to that first set of leaves, because obviously you can see already this one's getting pretty tall, and I would imagine we're just starting to see some roots at the bottom there, just starting, so it's fine at the moment. When you see quite a few roots sticking through there, you know it's definitely time to pot them on. But when you pot it in its big pot, bury it in right up to that first set of leaves, and if you wanted you could even take that first set of leaves off and bury it a little bit deeper, because can you see, where are we, can you see all those little hairs? I think you can. All those little tiny hairs on the stem, they'll all turn into roots given the opportunity. So you might as well take advantage of that when you come to when you come to plant them, because all those extra roots growing up this bit are just going to mean extra fruit. I've got nearly 500 subscribers, 480 I think it is, and I never even planned that. I was just making videos, but 500 subscribers, that's worth being quite pleased about, isn't it? So I thought, as a thank you, and I'll do it now rather than when I'm actually at 500, because it gives me a chance to get things planned. I'll do a giveaway. I'll make a stick. Anybody who's subscribed, now to be honest I don't know exactly who is subscribed and who isn't, because I don't think YouTube actually lets you see that sort of thing, not that I've seen anyway. But if you leave a comment saying yes please, I'll count that as an entry to the raffle. And what we'll do, we'll put everybody's name in a hat, and I'll pull one out, and somebody can win a stick. A couple of years ago I made a few sticks and made videos, you can probably go back and find them. Made a couple of really nice sticks for people, and I've got some ready to go I've got some nice hazel. That's I think these are 3 years old now. Nice bit of hazel. Got some nice blackthorn. Good potential shillelagh material. That one. If you leave us a comment that says yes please, or something to that effect, we'll put your name in the hat, and somebody, once I hit 500 subscribers, which should be by the end of the summer, it's only another 20, somebody will get themselves a really nice stick. Although I should probably limit it to the UK, because sending a stick through the post off around the world could be expensive and unreliable. I don't think I've really got any people overseas watching anyway, to be honest. As long as you're in the UK, you can get yourself a nice custom made stick. So let us know then in the comments if you want to be in the prize draw at some point this summer. I'm not going to be able to do too much in the way of walking over the, well, any walking I don't think over the next couple of weeks, because it's very busy on the allotment at the moment. I try to kind of steer clear of the allotment videos, but it's what I'm going to be doing for the next few weeks. So there'll probably be another allotment video, and then we'll go and find somewhere nice to have a walk. Nice to see that spring is on its way. The apple tree up there, look. Don't know if you can see the blossom on it. Probably not from there. But judging by the blossom at the allotment and the blossom here, I think it's going to be quite a fruitful year. Okay, right. I'll see you all soon. Lots of things to do at the moment. Take care.